Howdy, folks. Widget Walsh from NeedCoffee.com here. I'm actually going to tell you before I start driving. What you're seeing here is, this is the first of our little quick movie review thing. I just got this spiffy new camera, which is trained on me right now. And what we're going to do is, I've just seen a film. And you're going to get my initial reaction leaving the cinema, getting in my car. This is my car. And while I'm driving home. And don't worry that you're gonna be with me for the whole drive home. It might be, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes, depends on what type of rant I get into. And also, don't worry, I'm not gonna be looking at you like I am right now while I'm driving, because that would be insane. So if we get to a stop sign or a red light, I might acknowledge that you're there, but otherwise I'm just going to talk out, and people will think that I'm talking on a Bluetooth or whatever crazy people do when they're talking to themselves now. So anyway, let's get started with our first Wayhomer review, and it's Planet 51. So we just left the theater, and oh my god. Alright, so 2 things spring to mind on this. The first thing is that well, the first most important thing is, the NASA logo was actually, from what I could tell, I mean, I thought it looked like the real NASA logo. I thought you kind of had to get permission from NASA to, like, include them in stuff, you'd think. And if that's the case, I don't know what the hell they were thinking, because this, after seeing the character of Chuck, well, first let me tell you the film, if you haven't seen the trailer, which basically told you everything you need to know. An astronaut from Earth lands on whatever this planet is, and thinks it's uninhabited, goes to plant his flag a la Marvin the Martian, and basically finds that it's inhabited already by aliens, much like, Columbus discovering America and the place was already inhabited. He discovers this planet, and it turns out to be inhabited by aliens who think it's Pleasantville or something. So anyway, so there's your synopsis. But basically, so this guy is like a NASA astronaut, and the character of Chuck Baker is played by Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. And I like Dwayne Johnson a lot, and I hope that he someday gets, like, in a decent film. But this isn't it, because the character of this astronaut is such a prick that you just have to wonder, you have to go, why would we fund that organization if they're all pricks, right? So all these kids are thinking, wow, what a prick. I don't want him to get back home. I wish they would eat him or cut out his brain or whatever it is they're going to do. So that's one thing. I don't know what NASA was thinking if they went along with this. The second thing is, you would think, because the whole thing is like the reversal, right? It's the obvious, ooh, we're the aliens this time, which has been done before, but you'd think that you get this kind of combination of the Monsters Who Do on Maple Street with that, and you'd be expecting this horrible ham-handed kind of, we've got to learn to respect differences. Just because things are different or people are different, it doesn't mean that they're monsters and want to eat our brains or whatever it is. So anyway, you'd think that would be really ham-handed and awful, and I thought that as well. And I won't say pleasantly surprised, but a little surprised that basically the film itself was so awful that I thought that was going to overshadow it. But no. Trust me, by the end, they have taken the point and they've gotten a big spike and they've hammered it right between your eyes with it. It's not that the film looks bad. It's not that the film's animation is awful. It's not that the voices are awful. It's just that it's a really terrible story. Most of the main character who you're supposed to, I guess, care about, this astronaut. I mean, the main character is obviously the alien kid who's supposed to be trying to get him home. In the reversal of E.T. In fact, they did the E.T. homage that they did was about the last one that I could sit through without just going, oh Jesus. But this astronaut guy, you don't want him to get home. You don't want him to come back here. We don't want him here. He's a prick. Take him out there. So that's the problem with it. Now, I will say this. If you're like a kid, if you're like a little boy or something, there was a little boy like in the row ahead of us who, when it got done, was like, that was so cool. So if you don't know any better because you're really young, you'll probably enjoy the film. But if you're an adult, then it's going to be lost on you. And I don't want to hear anybody saying, "Oh, it's a kiddie film. It wasn't made for you." Well, that's true, but you can't say that when you've got kiddie films. Let me take my hands off the wheel for a second. Kiddie films that were actually, you know, excellent this year, like Coraline, like Up. If you even want to count Where the Wild Things Are, which was, you know, I think kids would love, and I think Maurice Sendak agrees with me on that. Then I think you can do it. Hell, even Monsters vs. Aliens was more fun than this, and that was just a fun kind of rental thing. And this is just an avoid at all costs. So, yeah, I think that's it. So I'm going to write a full review to go along with this, but I thought I would give you my initial thoughts. Is that please don't see the film and then sit down to, like, I don't know, decide NASA's budget. And also, please don't see the film if you want to give your kids a message about tolerance and stuff like that, because if there's anything you should be intolerant of, it's films that are really on the nose about tolerance. So, anyway, this is Widget Walls and eatcoffee.com. I'm going to do some more driving now, and we'll see you next time on Wayhomer Reviews. I can't put an echo in my voice when I say that. Bye.